Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be budgeting for the month of November. We're going to thin out my sinking funds, and then we are going to stuff my sinking funds in my cash envelopes. So if that interests you, then stick around. Okay y'all, today we are starting by putting all of my bills for November on my November calendar, and we'll go through then and budget out for the month, and then we'll budget out for the week, and then I will be thinning out my sinking funds and stuffing them at the same time. So putting in what I need to for this week, for week one, and also exchanging some smaller bills for some bigger bills, and then stuffing my cash envelopes, which I need to go get. I just realized I don't have those. So we'll start just by putting all my bills on the calendar for the days that they're due. The first thing I always have every month is rent and utilities, and that happens on the 1st. And my phone bill I also pay on the 1st. And then my next bill is not till the 9th, and that's Apple Care. That's an auto pay that comes out of my account. I pay for my gym membership on the 10th, or that's when they usually charge me for it. And I also, my Bank of America credit card, the closing date is, I should say, put it on the 11th, because that's the closing date for my cycle. And then my insurances come out on the 16th. iCloud is on the 18th. And my city credit card, actually I think the closing date is, I think I figured this out last month, hold on. Yeah, my city closing date is on the 7th. And then by the end of the month, I pay for my gym small groups. I think I have counseling on the 3rd, and that's probably the only one I'll have this month, so that's the only thing I need to put on here. So some other things I'll put on here are just when I'm going to be out of town. So I'm going on a mountain trip the 13th through the 15th, just to like an Airbnb, just to kind of get away and have a change of scenery. And then I'm going to be home for Thanksgiving to visit my family this week. Oh, my haircut. When is my haircut? My haircut's this day. I also have a haircut. Sorry, forgot that. Okay, some expenses I need to consider are my mountain trip, Thanksgiving, my birthday is this month, and my haircut. And so I need to be cognizant of these events because my goal still this month, like last month, is to not spend out of my sinking funds. The only exception to that is going to be Christmas, maybe car maintenance, and my vacation envelopes. So all the other envelopes, my goal is to not spend out of them. And then one of my other goals is going to keep spending plus bills less than $2,000. So I want to keep that as close or under 2,000 as I can. So we'll see how that plays out. But that is basically it for things I need to consider. The only other thing on here is that all my balance transfers need to be posted to my city credit card by November 6th for it to qualify for the 0% interest. So I'll be doing a lot of that in the beginning of the month just to make sure I make that deadline. So I'll be giving y'all updates on that. So next I'm just going to go in and fill out my monthly budget. And so I got paid on October 30th, which was yesterday. Today's Halloween for me. I'm going to be posting this probably a couple days late because I don't have time to edit it today, but I did get paid yesterday, and we'll be budgeting out for the month based on that paycheck. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is I'll budget out for my paycheck, and I did already get paid, but I always budget with $2,770 because my income can vary a little bit, and this is usually around what it is. So I'm gonna budget out based on that number, and then I'll go in and fill out the actual later. And if I have extra money, I'll put it towards a category, but honestly, I haven't checked what my total amount was. I just know I got paid yesterday, so for now, we're still gonna work with the budget. So then I also recently got a tutoring job, which is awesome because I've been wanting to find some sort of side hustle, and I had my first tutoring session this past week and I'm getting paid $35 an hour. So I'm just gonna budget as if I have 2 sessions this month. Actually, I'm gonna budget as if I don't have any sessions, even though I already know that I got paid for it. Just because we haven't worked out my regular schedule with the family, so, and I know I've recently gotten paid for the first session, but in case something happens and I don't have any more sessions with them, it's probably better to not budget for it. So I'm gonna keep that at 0. I'm likely this month gonna need to spend out of my sinking funds for Christmas. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that there, but put a 0 balance, and then I'll just put other income here in case I make other income by selling things and whatnot. But again, I'm not budgeting for any of that. So we're gonna budget out my paycheck with this, and any extra income I'm gonna probably put towards debt. Okay, so running through bills, the first is gonna be rent and utilities. And I pay that on the 1st, and it is always $850. And then my phone bill I also pay on the 1st, and that is $83. And then I pay Apple Care next on the 9th, and that's $9. My gym membership is on the 10th, and that's $50. My Bank of America credit card payments, I say it's due by the 11th because that's the closing date, but I've already paid. So my minimum this month is going to be $145, but that's my minimum payment for by the 11th. So I've already put $100 towards this, so I don't really only have to put $45 more into it before the 11th, and then I'll see what my new minimum payment is, and I'll start paying on that after the 11th. So that's how that works, but I'll put $145 this month regardless towards that. My insurance comes out on the 16th, and that's $94 usually. I'll have to double check that that's what it's going to be again. iCloud is on the 18th, and that's $3. My city minimum payment, I just need to pay by the end of the month because I've already paid. The current statement, the current cycle that I'm in for city is closing at the beginning of this month, and I've already paid more than my minimum. So I'll pay $35 towards the minimum sometime by the end of the month. And then counseling is going to get $45 because I should only have time for 1 counseling appointment this month because of traveling and things. And then for my gym, I do small groups with them that cost $10 each small group, and I'm only going to have time to go to 2 this month, so I'll put $20. And then my student loans, technically my minimum payment would go here, but because we're in forbearance, I am not putting anything towards that. So let's see what all of this adds up to be. So this is $1,334, which leaves us with $1,436 to stuff. So next is going to be my cash envelopes. And the first one I always do is groceries. And this month I am mixing it up a little bit. I'm going to only be budgeting $50 a week instead of $80 because I found out I just don't need $80 at the grocery store every week. So we'll do $50 a week for 4 weeks. So that will be $200. My eating out, I'm going to keep the same, which is $25 a week, which is going to be $100 for the month. My flex funds, I'm going to be increasing. They're usually only $10, and I'm going to be doing $40 a week because I'm taking the extra $30 from groceries and putting it in my flex funds. So if we're doing 40 times 4, that should be $160 for the month. My gas stays in my checking account, but I'm going to give myself $80 for the month. And I probably won't use all of this because I will be going home out of state, and I won't be needing to drive much. And then last is special expenses. So how I am budgeting for this is I have a haircut this month, and that's $60. I'm gonna give myself $20 for my birthday, and then I'm gonna give myself $20 of spending money on this mountain trip. So I'm gonna be putting $100 in special expenses. Another thing for the mountain trip is I will be using my vacation sinking fund to pay for the Airbnb, but the $20 that I put in my special expenses for it will be for like food or something like groceries that we get for the house or something. So all of this together is $640, which leaves us with $796 left to stuff. And so the $640 for my spending plus the $1,334 for bills is less than $2,000. So this meets my goal, and I'm hoping I can stick to it enough to keep it under 2,000 in my actual spending. So we'll see. So now we'll go on to my sinking funds. We have $796 left to budget. And so I'm just gonna go in and fill out all the categories and then we'll come back. Okay, so here are all my categories laid out, and this month I'm going to be making just a few small adjustments to my sinking funds, nothing too wild or out of the blue, just a couple small things to help me pay for some expenses I know are coming. So Christmas is going to be getting $80 this month because I want to put $20 a week towards that. My auto care is getting $60 for the month because I want to do $15 a week. For my vacation fund, I'm going to be stuffing it more in the early weeks and less in the later weeks. So I'm going to be putting $45 in it for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to drop it back to its usual $15 for 2 weeks. So that's going to be $120 for the whole month. For medical, I'm only going to be putting $10 in a week, so $40 for the month. Gifts I am dropping. I did $10 a week last time. I'm only doing $4 a week this time. So it is only getting $20, which is the same that household is getting. And then personal care is getting, instead of $20 a week, only $15 a week. So it's dropping to $60 for the month. And then weddings, I'm keeping the same at $15 a week for $60 for the month. And then my 1 month ahead is just gonna get $1 a week. Same with my yearly subscriptions, because those aren't really big priorities. And then my side hustle, I'm going to give myself $10 a week for $40 total for the month. So let's add that up. So that should be 508. So that would leave us with $288 left to budget. And for my debt payoff, I always want to put $450 towards my debt every month. And so we've already allocated $145 for Bank of America. We've allocated $35 for my Citi credit card. And then that leaves us with $270 for extra debt. Is that right? Yeah. So my savings challenges only gets $1 a week, so that's gonna be $4. I'm not putting anything in my emergency fund. And I should, by the time I get here, have $0 left because I'm doing a zero-based budget. So let's see. So if we had 288 left and we subtracted 270, and then we only have 4 left. So let's see. If we have 288 left over and we subtract out 4, then I should be able to put $284 towards extra debt. Okay. So that's going over the 450 that I wanted to. Okay, cool. So that should leave us with 284 for the total with $4 left over, which would make it a zero-based budget. Okay, sorry if that was confusing. I just throw any extra money towards this debt. So when I'm gonna be making my own budget sheets for 2021, and I think I'm going to change like the format of these to do it in the way that I budget. So like typically whatever's left I put towards my extra debt. So I'll put this box last. So anyway, more to come with that. But this is my monthly budget. So the next thing I'm going to do is budget out for week 1, which for me is gonna span November 1st through the 8th, which really it's October 31st through the 8th, but details. So I'm gonna go through and just write out the categories. Okay, so here are the categories all laid out. So the ones in black, I'm going to be stuffing with real money. The ones in purple, I'm going to be stuffing with prop money because I leave those in my bank account and I just use prop money to follow my progress. For groceries this week, I'll be doing $50. Eating out will get $25. Flex is getting $40. And I'm giving myself $20 for my birthday. Christmas is getting $20. Auto care is getting $15. Vacation is getting $45, which is more than usual. Medical is getting $10. Gifts is getting less, and that's so that I have more money to give to vacation. Everything else is pretty much the same. Personal's going down a little bit for the same reason. And then the ones I'm not prioritizing are getting $1, which are these 3 categories, and then side hustle is getting 10. And that's just saving up for whenever I want to open an Etsy store or some other type of side hustle. So then the debt payments I'm making this week are going to be finishing off my Bank of America minimum payment, which is going to be $45. And then for my extra payments to my Citi credit card, I'm going to be putting the full extra debt payment, which was the $284. I'm going to put all of that in Citi this week, because if you've seen my other debt payoff videos, which I'll link my first one up above, and I'll link my second one in a few minutes. But if you've seen those videos, you'll know that I have to transfer any balance transfers to this card by the end of November in order for them to be eligible for the 0% interest. So I want to get this balance as low as possible so that I have more room in my credit card, within my credit card limit on that card, to transfer the money out of my Bank of America card, which does have interest, into that card. So I'm just going to transfer all of that right away so I can start figuring out what my balance transfer will look like. So for the total budget for this week, not counting the fake money, I'll add up everything in black. So that is going to be $278. And I'm not going to do a cash breakdown this week because I'm going to be pulling out bigger bills from the bank so that I can thin out my sinking funds. And then I'm going to just stuff these envelopes based on the smaller bills that I take out of my sinking funds. So we're skipping this, and I'm just going to jump straight to the bank, pull out my cash, and we'll get straight to stuffing. Okay, I'm back, and I have my sinking funds here. I have my cash envelopes, and I have the cash that I pulled out from the bank. We're going to start with sinking funds today because I want to thin them out a little bit, and we will stuff these at the end. So first, I am just going to lay out my cash, and then we'll get to stuffing. Okay, so I have my cash all laid out. This is everything I pulled out from the bank, and this dollar was left over from my cash envelopes from the last week of October. So if you missed that video where I closed out my October budget, I'll link it up above. But that is what this $1 is from, and we'll be stuffing that in my sinking funds today. So this is my sinking funds booklet, and it's where I keep mine. And I always start with Christmas. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'll pull out what I do have in my sinking funds, and then we'll figure out what I need to add for week 1 of November, and then I'll exchange my bills for some larger bills. So this past week I did spend some money out of this sinking fund. This was the first time I've ever used a sinking fund to pay for something, and it was really, really fun. So I spent $41 on a gift, some materials for a DIY gift that I'm doing for Christmas. So this fund should be at $119 now. And I'm going to be adding $20 this week. So I should be at $139 total. So we'll make sure this is $119, $50, $100, $110, $115, $116, $17, $18, $119. Okay. So now I'll have $139 total. So I'm going to do 100, and then a 20. So 120, 130, 135, and then 36, 37, 38, 39, 139. So I'll just put these 50s back here to be stuffed in another envelope. So that's how I'm going to do this today. And then I'll count it just to make sure it's 139. So 100, 120, 130, 135, 136, 7, 8, and 9. Great. And my hope is that it will help thin out some of my envelopes because some of them are getting kind of thick. So next is going to be auto care. And this one is going to be getting $15 this week. So I should be at $125. So let's see, I have 25 here, and then I'll just add a 100. And now I'll have 125, and that is so much thinner. And now I'll just put this back to get stuffed later. Great. So next is vacation and travel. And this is getting 45 this week. So it should be at 155. So let's see, we've got 55, and then we'll just add a 100. So now we have 155 in the actual envelope. And then these guys will just come here. Great. Medical is next. And medical is getting $10 this week. I figured out what my flexible spending is going to be, like what I'm going to be contributing to it for next year. And I'm really excited to use that because then I'm going to be able to stuff less in this envelope because I'll have my flexible spending card and account. So really excited about that. But for now, I'm just going to keep stuffing it because stuff might come up before 2021. Okay, so I should have 75 in here. So I'll do 50, 75, 50, 75. Doing this makes me feel like the banker during Monopoly, like when you're in charge of handing out money to people. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now. So gifts is not getting funded as much this month. I'm only doing 5. So I should be at 80 total for that. And so I'll do a 50, 20, and a 10. So 50, 70, 80. And the reason I'm funding it less is because I'm trying to pay for gifts for the rest of 2020 with my spending money or with my Christmas sinking fund. So I'm trying not to touch gifts, but I also won't have a lot of gifts at the beginning of 2021. So I don't need a ton of money in that fund because I'm not going to need it for a while. So much thinner though. Household. Also only getting 5, so it'll have 45. So I want to do 2 20s and a 5. They're both kind of crusty. I'll do that one. Okay, so should have 45, 20, 45. Nice. Next is my personal care envelope. And personal care also is going down a little bit this month, but it's still getting 15 a week. So I should be 175 in here. Oops, that's my just store credit at a store. So we'll get it 100, 50, 70, and I need a 5. This 5 is crusty. I want a crisp 5. I don't have any crisps. No crisp 5s. All right, here we go. Okay, so 150, 170, 175. This 100's crisp though. Look at that. Can you hear that? It's cool. Okay. Put this back. Next is weddings. Weddings is getting 15. If you're new to my channel, this is not for my wedding. I'm not getting married. This is for friends' weddings in 2021, just to be able to afford to travel to them and buy them gifts and things like that. So we'll have 75. So I'm gonna put a 50. Is there a nicer 50? Yeah. This one. That's the best one. 50, 70. Ooh, that's nicer. 50, 75 in weddings. Now I'm going to put all these back. I have so many 10s now. I started with no 10s. Look at this stack. Wild. Okay, this is my 1 month ahead fund, which is not really a priority, but I would like to get 1 month ahead of my bills eventually. So it is only getting $1, so I should be at $6. And I think it's all in ones, so I'm gonna need a 5, and then I can put these ones back. So now I have $6. My yearly subscriptions is gonna be the same story, because it also only gets $1. So it will need a 5, and then I'm gonna keep the nicest one, that one. So now I have $6. This 5 is kind of ripped. $6. Next is my side hustle envelope. And it is getting 10, putting it at a total of $56. So I can get a 50 for that. This one's nice. And then we'll keep the $6 there. So now we have 55, 50, 55, 56 inside hustles. And this is for my savings challenges, which I'm not currently doing any. So just trying to, you know, put something in here. So it will also need a 5. And then I'll keep 1, 1. I'll put the rest over here. So now we have $6. My next envelope is for my Bank of America card, which first what I need to do, I realized I didn't do this yet. I need to transfer this money from last month to my overall debt payment envelope. So I have an envelope for each of my credit cards, an envelope for any cash that I get that I want to put towards my cards, and then this last envelope is just everything I've put towards my credit cards so far. So I'm going to take this 150 out from October to make that 0. And then, what did I say we were doing this week? 45. Oh, I need my fake money. This is where I keep my fake money. So I'm going to need to put 150. Okay, wait. Nope. We're putting $45 in this envelope this month, or this week. So 20, 40, and 5. 20, 45 is what we'll be adding today. So that is here. And then my city credit card, this is all from last month as well. So we'll be transferring that to a different envelope. So minus $469 will get us back to 0. And then today we are going to be adding, what was it, $284, which is again in fake money because I leave that money in my account and then I transfer it to the card rather than pulling it out just to put it back in the bank, just to transfer it. So let's see, we need 100, 200, 50, 70, 80, ooh, $2 bill is fun, 82 and 84, that should be all of it. Okay, let's count and double check. Okay, 100, 200, 250, 270, 280, 282, 284. Okay. So this envelope is getting stuffed. This envelope is for any cash that I have for my debt payments, and I took what was in there to the bank last month. So today I'm going to be adding the $1 that was left from my last week of October, which I mentioned at the beginning of this stuffing. So for now, there'll just be $1 in here. but if I make any more money in cash this month or have any leftover money in my spending envelopes, I'll be putting it in here. And then the last thing we're gonna do is update how much money we've put towards debt. Okay, so right now in this folder, I have $1,235, which was the total amount I put towards debt in August and the total amount I put in towards debt in September. So now I need to add for October. So according to my budget, I put $150 towards my Bank of America card, $35 towards my Citi card, another $280 towards my Citi card, then another 96, and then another 60. So I should have $621 that I'm adding. I have a feeling I might have messed up this, but we'll see. So $621 plus the $1,235 that's already in there means that I should have put $1,856 towards debt by the end of October. So let's count this and see if this is 621. I don't think it's in order, is it? No. I can already tell that I don't think it is. Okay, so 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 470, 490, 510, 530, 550, 570, 580, 590, 600. Oh, it might be. All right. 610, 615, 616, 17, 18, and 19. Is that right? I'm missing $2. Like what? I don't know how I'm missing $2, but I'm going to add the 2 back in. I don't know where they went, but my budget says I put 621 and I trust my budget, so here we are. Okay, so now what I'm going to basically do is make this less bills, or add it to this, and then I can make it. No, I'll do it first. So I'll keep the 100. So now, if we add all this up, we should have $1,856. I need to get $1,000 slips because I'm out of hundreds now, so. Okay, we've got 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. 1,001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1,800 and 20, 40, 50, 55, 56. So I'm going to exchange the 50s for a 50 and then 6. Okay. So $1,856 is going to be in this envelope. Woohoo! Wow, thick. I need to get 1,000. Make $1,000 slip for this. All right. So that is it for my sinking funds. It definitely made it thinner. I don't know that y'all can tell, but I cannot tell for sure. It's so much thinner. So that was helpful and great. So now I'm going to, oh wait. Now I'm going to do my cash envelopes. So for this week, I'm going to be doing $50 for groceries. So I'm just gonna do a $50 bill. The 31st, we're depositing $50. Next, I'll do eating out, which I'm giving $25. And I'm going to do that in 2 10s and a 5 for $10.25. And then my flex funds is going to be getting 40. And for this, I'm going to do a 20, a 10, a 5, and 5 ones. So let's make sure that adds up. So 20, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Great. So that's it for the envelopes, but then I also have an extra $20 for my birthday. So I'm just going to put that here and then put these in my wallet. And then that is it. So now what I'll do is I'll just take this money back to the bank because this is just change and I'm gonna need it for future weeks' stuffings. So this all came out of my sinking funds. And I replaced it with bigger bills. So I will take this back to the bank. I mentioned in some of my previous videos that I would be doing a giveaway once I hit 100 subscribers, and I did hit 100 subscribers this past week, which was so exciting. So I am going to be making some envelopes that I will be giving away, and I will make sure that that is in my next video next week. So stay tuned, and if you are interested in those in my next video, you'll just need to be subscribed to my channel and you'll need to comment something down below to be eligible, and I will just mail them to the random winner. So I hope y'all have a great start to your new month in November, and I hope you enjoyed watching me thin out my sinking funds and stuff my cash for the week. And check back in a week from now and I'll show you how I did in week 1 and what I'm going to be doing for week 2. So stay well, y'all, and thank you for watching my video. And if you enjoyed it, like it down below, and please subscribe if you aren't already. And I will see y'all next week. Bye.